Hey guys, welcome to the Expand to the Cloud brokerage. We're going to talk to Keeley Tase today, as well as David Upchurch. Today we're going to talk about Keeley, and she's been in the business for 24 years, a single agent, did 11 million last year, looking to do more deals this year too as well. If you don't know, Keeley actually brought David in, and David brought me in, and has been a blessing ever since. We're going to start the year good at 2020. I want to talk to Keeley about her experience and, what her story was, her journey was, and what brought her into real estate, where she's now, and what does she see in the future too as well. So Keeley, welcome.
Thanks. I'm humbled to be here. So I started when I was 26 years old. I just kind of stumbled into the business. I went to work for a builder, Shea Homes. They came to Charlotte in 1995. They hired me as their first employee here to manage the office. And I didn't know anything about real estate, but I did find out that the on-site agents made quite a bit of money in new home sales. So I went and got my license right away. And I was one of their first on-site agents then here in Charlotte in 1996. So that's when I started selling. I did that for 5 years. I took another position, a sales position in advertising for 11, but I still kept my license active and sold some deals here and there. But then I was recruited away from, actually I did commercial then for about a year, tenant rep office. And then I was recruited to head up a large Keller Williams office here in Charlotte at South Park, and did that for 2 years, and then stepped down to just sell after that. So at that point, I was selling a top agent for that office, and I got a call about eXp. I had heard about eXp, and different people had been talking to me about it, but it wasn't until I heard from this particular gentleman who sold about the same amount of real estate that I did, felt the same pains that I did, that I actually listened and came over to the company as a result. So that was 2 years ago this week.
Wow.
At eXp, yeah.
And you said you listened. I like the word listen. So there's a lot of people who don't listen right now. They just want to, click and grab at it.
Yeah, got to be open-minded.
Awesome. So tell us more about your experience. Obviously you've been with other companies, and coming into eXp, there are certain things that attracted me, and obviously with David too as well. Coming into the company, what are a couple of things that kind of attracted you, and what do you see now? I think you've been in it for 2 years, and what has been your experience so far?
Yeah, it's changed. So what attracted me to this company initially, believe it or not, was just the lower commission split, and it wasn't even that much lower, but it was enough to make me look at it, and no franchise fees. So eXp is one brokerage. We don't have franchise fees. We don't have owners of each individual office. So I liked that. I liked being an owner of a company, and that leads into the stock piece, which also was a reason I came over. I just figured if you're going to give me publicly traded stock for what I'm doing anyway, I'm going to take it, right? With the fastest growing real estate company in history, it doesn't take, the smartest person to figure out that that's probably going to go up as we grow. So those were that and the ability to earn icon status with this company, because I was selling, when I was called about eXp, I was selling about 16 million a year as an individual agent, about 50 plus homes. And I knew I would hit this icon status, so which gives me my entire cap back of 16,000 in publicly shared stock. So that's significant, and those are the main reasons. It has changed. Like I said, as soon as I came over, I had other people start to reach out to me and ask me, "What are you doing? What is this company?" And we were a little less well known 2 years ago in our city. But I came to find out that people were attracted to this company. I was able to bring over about 10 people within a couple of months, and it just got traction from there. And again, I didn't come over to this company to recruit or to attract agents, but it just kind of happened that way.
We're seeing that you are happy, and they were saying that what is it that you're doing differently? Obviously, a leader in your industry too as well. And it's funny you talk about that because when I was making the transition too from independent broker to eXp, it was where, hey, I could get my icon back. We're always forced to save. There's actually a book that I'm reading, Profit First, and we don't, as agents, we don't save. That's really the bottom line. We spend all the money. All of a sudden now I got this different cushion that's there. If you're trained to put, your profit first or your taxes first, then that's great. But I think that when I looked at eXp myself, and I'm like, wait, I'm getting that back. I'm already doing that production. I'm not really losing anything. So why am I not getting over this? And I think David was, and then you too, Keeley, kind of made me understand a little bit more. And I think at that point, I was thinking about my family more or less like, hey, I need to be more disciplined and having that different cushion for the family too, because I don't have it right now. I don't have it. I think every agent is living paycheck to paycheck.
So let's kind of describe to people what icon is for those that don't know that's watching this podcast or listening to it, right? So an icon agent at eXp is somebody that sells roughly, in the Charlotte market at least, it's roughly 30 homes a year. So what that really means is that you sell about 2.6 million in volume. Mm-hmm. And then sell an additional 20 transactions. So if you're selling $3 million houses, right, you don't have to do 30 houses. You'd only have to technically, math-wise, you have to do 21 houses, right? But if you're selling in where I was from when I first started my career in Indiana, my average sell price was around 200, right? So I'm going to have to sell a lot more. But once you complete, you sell your 2.6 million, and then you sell an additional 20 houses, the company's going to give you back your all the money that you paid in for your cap of 16,000 back in company stock. Now, the nice thing about that is that 16,000 that I paid into the company last year that they gave back to me in company stock is now, today, I looked before the podcast, is worth $18,800.
Wow. Yep.
So not only did they give me my 16 back, they gave me more money because it's growing, right? Now, if it goes down, it goes down. If it goes up, it goes up, right? But I have never, ever worked for a franchise or a company, and I do not know of a company or a franchise that will give somebody back all of the money that they paid in. It just doesn't exist.
Right. It does not.
So those are for those, agents that are selling, 2.6 million plus 20 houses is really roughly what we're going to talk about by iconing.
And that's one of the reasons that we're attracting big agents, right?
Yes.
That's it. I mean, that's why I came over. That's one of the reasons that both of you came over. I mean, it doesn't make sense not to take a hard look at that.
If I know I'm going to get it back, because I mean, for instance, for me and Rummy both, we owned our own franchise. We owned our own companies. Yep. Not franchise. We owned our own companies. Brokerage. We were small, independent owned brokerages. David Upchurch Real Estate was its own independent brokerage. I was not affiliated with a KW or a Remax or anybody else. I was my own entity. Yep. So I had zero cap. I was getting 100% of every penny, every closing I had. So people would even say to me, David, why did you go to a company where now you have to pay in? I'm like, because they're going to give it back to me. Yeah. I know they're going to give it back to me because for me, I know I'm going to icon every year. And then that money that they give back to me is actually going to grow. Plus, even if it doesn't grow, I'm still going to get other things that I'm getting value for. Yeah. Other than just that stock that they're giving back to me. There's a million more things that I'm getting that's worth the money that I'm paying into eXp every year.
Right.
And one of those other values that I'm looking at right now, and I think Keeley and I was talking about that, is the value of this connection right here. We're making this connection. We're making a connection where, I spoke about you today, David. We had a topic about farming, and this is what David does. This is what he does, and this is what you could do. the techniques and ideas that you were giving me, I'm passing that forward. Now, I don't pay anything to David, but we have that connection. I have the same thing with Keeley. I have the same thing with Richard, and so on and so forth. I mean, we all paying this, I believe in coaches, but I think we are paying excessive amount on these coaches to teach us exactly what the top agents have. And I think with eXp, we could align ourselves with the top agents, especially these groups up in Facebook works. I'm in the commercial side of it, and I thought I knew something, but to be honest with you, I don't know, maybe 10%. But guess what? I have the right resources to go there and say, hey guys, I need this, I need this, I need this, and people are willing to share. Let's talk about that a little bit more, guys. I mean, I know, what has been your experience in that side of sharing and helping each other too as well?
One thing that just stands out to me on a company level, and not just our eXp organization or family that we have here, is the listing presentation contest that Glenn Sanford introduced to everybody through Workplace, which is our Facebook. It's eXp's Facebook. And asked for everyone's listing presentations. And I think, David, didn't you come in second place?
Sore subject. Yes, I did. I got it.
That's pretty darn good with 23,000 agents at the time. So, but what's so cool about that is, I mean, we had access to all these incredible listing presentations, and we don't have to recreate the wheel. I mean, you just don't. Where do you get that? You don't. So that's kind of on a large scale how we're all sharing and collaborating. But just as far as our group here, and I have never felt the friendships and the collaboration and just the realness between us as colleagues as I do in this company. And we're virtual, but it sure doesn't feel like it. We help each other. We're all, selling real estate at a high level, and we're able to help each other navigate that and lean on each other through that. It's been incredible. That part has been an incredibly nice surprise that I did not expect, frankly.
Yeah. I didn't either. And Rummy and I will disagree on the coaching thing. I have always been an anti-coach because I just think that paying a coach $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month or $1,500 a month is ridiculous for me. I just think it's ridiculous, right? But what I don't think is ridiculous, here's what I don't think is ridiculous, is the value that those coaches bring, right? A good coach can bring to you. I just believe that if you can find that same value in a different place where you don't have to pay for it, it's valuable. And where I found it prior to eXp was the group where Rummy and I met. We met in a mastermind group. There was maybe 20 of us at the time. This was back in 2011-ish, 12-ish, somewhere in that ballpark. And that group is still together. And that group is now probably about 9 or 10 strong. And it was the 10 of us were basically kind of sharing and coaching each other. And a lot of those people in that group, and Rummy can attest to this, had coaches, and then they stopped with their coaches because they realized that they were getting more value from our work, from our little team. And it wasn't a team. We were all different brands. We were all different states, right? Now what we have at eXp is we have that same group, but it's 25,000 and more people. Yeah. Right. So 2020, I made a commitment to myself in the fourth quarter of last year that 2020 was going to be the year of social media for me, for my firm, and for my team, right? We were going to really pound social media. And where was the first place that I went? I went to work. I went to eXp's Workplace, and I said, hey guys, this is what I'm wanting to do. Who out there knows how to do this, knows somebody that knows how to do this, or has done it and knows what I should avoid? Because that's what coaches are there for, right? They're not really there, in my opinion, to tell you what to do. The more valuable thing is telling me what not to do, right? Where shouldn't I waste my time and my money? Tell me the things that other people have tried that didn't work. Let me avoid those things. If I'm going to drive long distance. I'm going to drive to Orlando, Florida, and my wife is in the car ahead of me 5 miles up the road, and she comes to a roadblock. I want her to call me and say, hey, don't get off on exit 12. It's packed, right? Get off on exit 11, right? And that's what eXp has done for me, is I'm able to reach out to all of these people and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Who's done it? Who's driven it? Who knows somebody that has driven it? And let me talk to those people. And it has been amazing how many people I've communicated with over the last 60 days about social media marketing and some of the things that I could do. And I didn't have to pay a dime for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Priceless.
I have coaches. I just don't have to pay for them.
Yeah.
And that's where the value is too as well. I mean, it's just also, Keeley, you spoke about something that you don't have a team, but it's yourself, but you do have a partnership in eXp that you give the referrals to. Now, this is very unique where, David and I have, teams. You don't have to have a team, still do the production, but guess what? Because eXp gives you these choices of agents or whoever you bring into the company, now you could work out a deal with them. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I brought an agent over from Keller Williams, a woman that I've known for years, and she handles herself like I do. She's very professional. Like I said, I've known her for a while, so I could trust her with my clients. Most of my business is all referral. It's all friends, actually. And so I needed someone that I could really know that if I was to hand over and hand off a referral, that she'd be able to take it and handle it accordingly. So I brought her over. She's a personal for me, and in a level tier 1, if you will. And we've got a split worked out that works. I don't want a team. I've never really wanted to build a team because I'm not a good manager, number one, and I don't want to keep track of people. But I also don't want to be responsible for the different costs that are involved in running a team. So I like to run lean and mean, and this model enables me to take someone that I've handpicked, brought over to the company, and refer them business. And you got to work out the right split, but it just works. It works beautifully, and I've done that with a couple of different agents, not just this one. So
you got choices. Instead of hunting them down, putting out ads, going out there, going crazy, because I used to do that a lot too. So you have choices where you don't have to be a team, and you could be a single agent and have these connections. I have that with a couple of people in Long Island too as well. I have another person in Connecticut. They're not part of my team, but I give them leads, right? So, but they are part of our downline, and where we could help them grow their business, and we have a connection where we're helping each other out too as well.
And that's the bottom line, Rummy, is that I am helping them grow their business. I'm supporting them in a way by, handing that business to them and referring it. So, and I get, I'm going to benefit from that sale anyway because I brought them in. So it's a win-win.
Yeah. So, I mean, we do talk about, even when you have a team, what's in it for me, and obviously this is a win-win for everyone, for them, for you, and as well as, helping them build their business with the more production that they do, and having a mentorship and a leadership that's going to be there for them, and especially for our new agents too as well. One of the things I do want to talk about is this expansion that is happening in eXp in UK and Australia too as well. I know Glenn Stanford went on in the news and gave an interview that we are able to expand pretty quickly because of the platform. What do you guys feel about that, and where do you see the future coming?
Keeley, you want to take this, or you want me to?
Go ahead, David.
So there's just no other place that you can expand. There's no other real estate. Listen, I've been in the real estate business 22 years or whatever. It's a long time, right? Long enough to know a little bit about real estate. There's no other place that I can go and expand and not have to get an office, have to go and get a copier, get an admin support, pay for rent, pay for electricity, pay for copy machine repair, it's just, There's no way to do it. And that is one of the things that has kept me personally from growing my little tiny boutique office. I could have easily went to other places and opened, right? And people would ask me all the time, David, when are you going to expand to Raleigh? Have you ever thought of expanding to Columbia, South Carolina? I'm from Indiana, right? My nephew is back in Indiana, killing it right now. When are you going to open up David Upchurch Real Estate in your small town in Indiana and help him and have him run it and grow it, right? I didn't want to do it because the risk was too big.
Yep.
The risk was too big. The money that I had to put out to do that was just, it was, you're going to have to absorb a 2-year loss, or at least a year loss, probably a 2-year loss, before you're ever going to see any return on your money. But with the eXp model, we can do that, provide the same level, if not better level of collaboration and training in a virtual world. And I don't have to have all that physical space if I don't want to. Now, if I want to, I can go get it. I can choose to do that, but I choose not to. So I'm now able to open up these little different pockets throughout anywhere in the country.
Well, and not to mention one cap.
And I still have one cap. I still have one $16,000 a year cap, period. I don't go, because listen, if I was at any other franchise, because they're franchises, each individual franchise owner in each one of those cities or states is going to tell me, David, yes, we'd love for you to come to Columbia, South Carolina and open an office. But guess what? We're going to require that you have a cap with us because we're a different franchise. I got to make money. The franchise owner has to make money. But at eXp, because we don't have franchises, I have one cap. It can't be, there's nothing out there that's like that.
No.
There's just not.
One cap because it's one brokerage, is correct?
One brokerage.
Right. So that's where we're able to expand to UK that quickly, Australia, and there's other countries that are coming too. It was funny because David said, hey, why don't you move to Fort Mill, South Carolina? We could kill it. And, David, I didn't think about, my wife started doing research at school, this and that. She's like, honey, I like it. I like it already. She's mentally preparing herself. But I'm not thinking about business. I'm like, I already know how to sell real estate. I want to get leads and, go do whatever I need to do, go do door knocking. But I'm not thinking about what company I want to be with, what do I need an office? Do I don't need an office? I already have the resources there for me to kind of just connect and saying, okay, let's start selling homes over here.
Play, yeah.
This is our office.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's in our laptop. There's our office right there.
Yeah, and even now, I think David, we have a private suite, and where I do my trainings in the morning. Even that is getting bigger and bigger and bigger because our organization is growing, and people are from Connecticut. I'm here locally right now, but anybody around the whole world just come to the Monday meeting and start learning right then and there, and just think about what other things that eXp has to offer. So, why are we expanding so quickly? Is that because we have the training, the system, the back end in eXp world and the virtual world too as well.
We're growing.
Anything else you guys want to add? Say it again.
Growing because there's nothing else out there like this.
Yeah.
And people are finally starting to realize that this is a better way of doing real estate. It's taken a while, but they're finally starting to realize that, you know what, this is actually it's a better wheel.
And it's, the rest of them are going to join it eventually. I love that we have 10 years on everybody. It's awesome because it's going in this direction. I've used the analogy with Amazon, right? Amazon, Target, and Best Buy and Walmart, right? So you're going to try to tell me that 10 years ago, Walmart wanted to have one-day delivery. They wanted to have where people could go online and order something and come to the store and have it picked up. Best Buy wanted to no, they did not want that. Amazon changed the game.
Yep.
And those companies that did not change and adapt with Amazon are no longer. Those ones that changed and adapt, they didn't like it, because Walmart and Target, Best Buy, they wanted you to come into the store to buy those one thing so you'd buy 3 more things, right? They had to adapt because they knew things had changed, and if they didn't change, they were going to die. And I'm predicting it right now, those real estate companies that do not change will die. And we're going, not only is eXp is changing the real estate game, there will be companies that will adapt because they have to adapt, not because they wanted to.
Right.
Yeah, they have to adapt. So that's leaving it, expand to the cloud brokerage. That's what you got to keep expanding. Keeley, thank you so much. It's been great to have you on and give your insight too as well. Any last words that you want to say? And really, and just to, I'm going to choose one, have a cup of coffee. I think that's one of the, you just recruited another big agent too as well, is that, I think David and even I hate speaking about eXp. It's more or less about have a cup of coffee, open your mind, and understand what your options are.
Relational. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with this agent, we were just meeting for a cup of coffee, and I told her up front, I said, we're not going to talk about eXp. I said, frankly, I'm sick of talking about it. Let's just go and have a cup of coffee. And we did. And, 10 minutes in, she's asking me about the company. So I think, just care about people, just get to know them. And that's the best way to do this thing. Grow organically is what we're doing. And, I'm not meeting with everyone. I'm not reaching out to everyone. And that's the piece about this company that I love, is that we are inviting agents that we want to be in business with. We are not recruiting. I'm not recruiting, and I know you guys don't either. It's inviting people to hear about this extraordinary model. And if it fits, great. If not, that's okay too. But all we can do is share our experience, and mine has been incredible, I must say.
So I will give you my experience. Yes, in the beginning it was about recruiting, but my mindset has completely changed. I'm in a different phase where, hey, I want to work with you. I sincerely want to help you grow. I want to be a part of your family. And together we can make this a wonderful place where you're successful, I'm successful. And I truly care about anybody that I bring in, because anybody knows that I'll be there. You need me for something, I'll be there. You need advice, I'm there, even if you're not part of my team. So I think my mindset is, my mindset is like your mindset right now is, hey, I'm not here to recruit you. I'm here to tell you an opportunity. And just like what David did to me at that time. And it's in the beginning it's like, I got to get these agents. I got to go do this. Not anymore. I'm like, this is what it is. Let's make it happen. This is the opportunity that I see. Let's start looking at this different lens. What lens are you looking at this business at? So.
Yes, yep. I agree. Awesome. Well said.
Awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. You're going to have Keeley's information below. Do reach out to her. She's, she'll call you right back, text her, Facebook her, or Instagram her, and she's awesome at that too as well. As you know, David is always there too as well to help support, answer any kind of questions. We're here to just be here as a resource for you, just to help you understand more about eXp. And if you do have any information that you need or any regarding real estate, please reach out. Have an amazing day, guys. Let's kick out 2020. Take care. Bye-bye.
Be advised that the topics and contents discussed in this podcast are opinions intended as general information based on personal accounts and experiences by the hosts Rummy Dhanoa, David Upchurch, and their guests. We recommend that listeners seek professional advice or research before making a business decision. This podcast is produced separately and independently from eXp Realty and is not sponsored or funded by eXp Realty.